how do you recognize if you're confident or not confident?
Wow, that's a good question. I think the root of it is feelings like jealousy, or feelings of tearing other people down, or criticize. I think whenever I find myself doing that to somebody else, like coveting their career or saying something negative about what they've made, I think about what is motivating me to do that. And I think it's the feeling that I kind of want that success, or I want the result of their work in a way that doesn't really serve me at all. That's their voice, and their success is their path, and the things they had to go through to get that end result. They're all unique to everybody, and the only thing we can do is figure out our own path, and that starts with knowing ourselves, finding what path we want to do, and then going after it, and taking the great things about other people's stories and enveloping them in our own story versus like tearing down their journey. So I don't know. Yeah.
I think kind of piggybacking off of what you said, I think it also kind of goes along the lines of wanting to compete with other people. And it really does go exactly with what you just say. Instead of tearing other people down and feeling like you're kind of jealous of them, why not say, you know what, I am proud of what you're doing? Because it kind of shows that you're not insecure, you're confident in what you're doing, and you're not trying to bring other people down. So yeah, I think you said it best.
And also to add to your points, it's so true. I think a lot of the times we mix up the idea of aspirational and envious. You know, you can aspire to be like someone, or you can be envious to be like someone. So I think knowing that difference, it's a very fine line, like being envious and being aspirational. And I find that how do you distinguish the two is really, you have to find out what makes you feel better. If you're envious of someone, it's very self-destructive. It may taste sweet at first when you say these mean things, or when you gossip, it may taste really good, like junk food, but after a while, the more you eat, the more it's going to destroy you, destroy your body. Like, I admit, I love my sweets, I love my junk food every once in a while, but is it good for me? Absolutely not. But does it taste good? Yeah. But you know what tastes even better is love. And just like loving yourself constantly, and that's a taste that will taste sweeter than anything else. And I think, you know, when you figure out the difference between the taste of envious and the taste of being aspirational, you'll know the difference. And being aspirational, like feeling like that, it actually empowers you rather than just like putting you down. Like, it empowers you to be a better person. Can you share a story or experience of a time when you were insecure about something, and how did you overcome it? Let that soak in.
Wow. I mean, I spent a large part of my life being insecure about the way I look a lot of the time, and the things that I'm interested in. I really like geeky things. I think, and I saw something in your talk, Lizzie, that really resonated with me. You said that until you were 5, you didn't know that you were different. And I had a similar experience. I was homeschooled until I was about 15, and I didn't know that it wasn't cool for a girl to like fantasy novels or play video games or be really into you know, sci-fi shows. And there are all these things that I didn't know that I was different. So when I went out into the world, it's always an anomaly. Oh, you're different. Oh, you're not supposed to be like that. And that feeling definitely accompanied me a lot. And when I moved to LA to be an actor, I shed a lot of that because it didn't feel like it was conforming to a box that I could be put in to be successful in the way that I thought I wanted to be successful. And through the process of leaving myself in that, I became more and more unhappy and more fixed on how I could change myself for other people. And that was just a cycle that never gave back any happiness. So that when I sort of abandoned that and I did something that I felt passionately about, creating a show about gamers, and it was something I knew, and I felt like purpose in sharing that story, that I felt like it needed to be heard. This is something that you guys don't think is a point of view that's valid, but it needs to be heard. That's when I found something that drove me and made me want to get up in the morning and gave me happiness. And just backing up and saying, what gives me happiness? This is valid. I have these other external goals that I don't even know if I want them, but I'm told that I want them, or I have an idea that I want them. But unless you're feeling the happiness feedback, you're really maybe not doing the right thing or focusing on the right things. Oh. So, yeah.
Oh, I like that. That's good. I can feel how happy what you do now makes you. That's good.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh. I have had many, many different experiences when I was kind of insecure. I think insecure doesn't even describe actually how I felt in many instances, which I'm sure so many people who are watching right now feel. And one that kind of sticks out to me is when I was in high school. Like Felicia said, I didn't know that I was different when I was younger, so having to kind of have a really big slap of reality at such a young age was something that was very difficult for me. And it was not, at the time, I didn't know of any other people who had my syndrome in the world or who looked like I did. And so knowing that there wasn't somebody that I can text or call and say, how did you feel when this happened? Or you know exactly what it's like to walk in my shoes. Do you have any advice? Can I cry to you? It was just something that was very hard for me, and a thought that I just, no one's ever gonna understand me. No one, no matter what I do, nobody's gonna get me. And when I was in high school, the assistant principal at the time had asked me to speak to 400 ninth graders. Yeah, exactly, that was exactly my reaction. And I turned around and I was like, no, you're insane, I'm not doing it. They don't, in my mind, nobody was going to be able to understand me. I was going to be boring. They weren't going to be able to relate to me. And halfway through that speech, which thank God I actually did, I looked up and it clicked in my head that even though we don't have something exactly the same as other people, you can relate in some area of their life, whether it's bullying, whether it's self-esteem, whether it's family issues, whatever it may be. And so it's kind of like it was a moment where I was so insecure to actually just be in front of that many people in general, much less to open myself up and share the struggles that I've been. And I don't know, it was just like somebody just took the blanket off of me, and I thought, it's okay. We're all human beings. We all kind of go through things throughout life. So putting myself in that situation, which I was terrified for, really kind of helped me overcome a huge insecurity that I had, which was just putting myself out in public.
Oh gosh. I feel like I don't even want to answer any more questions, because it's everything you guys are saying, it really resonates with what I believe in, and also I truly believe that the viewers who are watching this right now, you're really hitting that spot. You're really speaking to their soul. I think insecurity is something that everyone has gone through. Supermodels, actors, billionaires, normal person, everyone and anyone can be insecure, and no one is immune to that. And I think it has a lot to do with the pressure that you as yourself, you put on yourself. Society, yes, it does put pressure for people to look a certain way, but I believe that we were given a choice to really choose whether we want to put that pressure on ourselves. And I think growing up, I allowed that pressure on myself, and I looked at magazine covers and TV shows, and I didn't see someone that was like me on those covers or on those shows, and that, I was insecure because of that, because I didn't have anyone that I could relate to. And how did I overcome that? It was really by finding friends who were very similar and like-minded like me, finding idols that I really looked up to who were very similar to me, or who had the same ideals as me, or maybe even like same hairstyle as me, like someone that I can relate to, like I could see as a big sister, right? Because I didn't have a big sister growing up. I had a little sister, but I was a big sister, but I wanted to look up to someone, and that someone were like Japanese like singers, anime, video games. I mean, again, just like you, I loved just diving into the world of fantasy and everything, and video game characters became my idols. And they may not be real, but it doesn't matter. It's the idea of what they represented. It was real to me. So I overcame it by really, playing these games, reading these stories, and creating my own stories and characters, and really immersing myself in that universe. And that's how I was really able to overcome my insecurity of who I am. And today I'm now like the big sister to all these girls, and I treat it just the same as how I was when I was growing up. It's really just you know, being who you are, like making mistakes along the way, but showing them that, hey, I made these mistakes and it's okay. It's no one's perfect. Like just now at the live chat, I stumbled. Look, it happens. That's how life is, but you have to roll with the punches and get right back up and just move forward. And I think that's the key, is just keep moving forward and walking and never stop moving.